Welcome! This is Solopreneur Success Strategies, where we talk about mindset, your website, your brand, your social media marketing, your customers, how to sell to your customers, how to find your customers, how to talk about the skills and knowledge you need in your business, and free software and tools to help you save time, money, and be more productive, as well as strategy and systems here on Solopreneur Success Strategies. Welcome! Welcome. This is Jane Gardner of Solopreneur Success Strategies, and today is Get Your Message Out Tuesday, where we talk about you, your brand, and how you use your messaging for your brand, your messaging on your website, messaging in social media. So it's all about your messaging and how it attracts your customers. So we've been talking about your brand and how to create it. We're talking about your website right now and some of the pages that you could have on your business website that you can brand as well. If you want to look at the discussion, we had about 5 weeks of that on your brand and how to create your brand. You can go to jgtips.com/YouTube to see the previous Get Your Message Out Tuesday shows. Those are on Tuesday. And there's usually a little description below them so you can catch up on which ones you want to look at. So today we're going to be talking about some of the other pages on your website that you can brand. And these are basically the minimum number of pages that you should have on your website. And in order for people to get to know, like, and trust you. So today, I should probably tell you, I'm Jane Gardner. I work with my husband for the last 20 years in our engineering firm in Western Canada. And I went out about 3 years ago to help others start their own business. So let's get started and talk about your website. And that's not it. I knew I would do that. I picked the wrong button. So that's me. And so let's go and we'll have a look at some of the information on your website. Then Get Your Message Out Tuesday. So I have an offer on building your own brand in a week, which is at jgtips.com/brand. And you can have a look at it. It's an early adopter offer so that we're going to be creating it together. And once it becomes a proper program, it will be a lot more money. But basically, you identify the unique benefits of your business. How do you differentiate yourself from your competitors? Identify your core markets, name your product, develop your brand messaging, and then measure how they're doing and what tools you can do to measure that. So once you have your messaging, you can attract your customers to your website and to any of the other social medias that you are on. So there are over 3.4 billion by now people on the internet, and I'm sure you can find your customers by attracting them with messaging in social media and also, of course, through your website and interactions with other people on the internet in social media. So we have had a 4-week training on you and your brand. We are now in you and your website, looking at some of the pages you can brand. And then we will be looking at you and social media, which ones should you be using, and we'll look at the various social media platforms and how to brand them. So a brand is your promise, your commitment, and what you stand for and stand against in your business. It is all about your messaging. It's your messaging that is consistent, accepted by your customer, and it has a unique edge to differentiate yourself from your competitors. So far we have looked at your website messaging for your homepage, your About Us page, your Start Here page, and of course the blog. Now, just for a quick review, obviously for your homepage, this may be the first place where they get to meet you. So this has got to be all about them. It's got to be stuff that they're interested in so that they'll stay and connect with you. About Us is not about you either. It's about them. So it has to have the messaging that you want to be able to attract your ideal customer to. But the Start Here page is more of a this is what my website's about, and here are some of the places you can go to learn more about what you want to learn about. And of course, the blog has the content and the opt-in resources, etc., that they are of interest to your customers, so that they can see that you know what you're talking about, that you're an expert, and they can find out more about your product and service. So we're going to add just a few more pages to the website that we need to brand. And so there's some other essential pages, of course, and you can even brand these ones. So we'll go over how you can brand. So we have our Contact Us page. Sometimes people forget this page, which always annoys me because it's always very hard to find the simple things like a phone number, an email, a map, and such things like that should be on your Contact Us page if you've got a physical location. And of course, you can have your messaging on your Contact Us page, as well as your branding, your colors, your logo, all these kind of elements, so that if they happen to land on your Contact Us page instead of your home page, then they will be able to understand that you have got a whole branding to your whole website. Now, you would also want to have a sitemap, which is a software thing. It's a plugin to have that shows the search engines what the pages are on your website, so that they get familiar with the keywords that you have, so that you're optimized when someone goes into a search engine and uses a keyword that where they're looking for you, basically it will come to you because you have the sitemap. Really helps as well. And of course, you have to have all the legal requirements on your privacy policy, on your affiliate policy, and all your other things in order to make it comfortable for the government to know that you are a legitimate organization, as well as, of course, your customers have to know that you are a legitimate organization. So make sure they're front and center. At least a link there on your homepage, which I do, and then it links back to where the legal requirements are so they can go read them if they wish. And most important, something that people do forget is the help and frequently asked questions for any kind of website, because no matter what kind of website you are, it's always important to have questions answered so that they can understand that you understand what their issues are with your product or service, or if they want any assistance and have a question on your product or service. So for that, of course, if you're branding yourself as a hepcat, that's an old-fashioned word. If you're branding yourself as for the younger generation versus the older generation, you will use different language. You will make it. You will probably have easier to read for the older generation, larger text, colors, not too many, or you might decide that you're going to be a dizzy-wizzy type of website. Sorry, I hadn't thought of talking about this, so I'm improvising at my age. And of course, you should have your 404 error page. And on that 404 error page, that can also be all about you and your messaging. It can be quirky, it can be fun, it can be just simple, but it should be there so that they can understand that they've come to the wrong place and where to go to find you. Usually, you head them back to your home page. So I think next week maybe what we'll do is have a look at a few websites and see how they've branded everything and made them either funny, or they've made them governmental, or they've made them just easy to read for the older generation, etc. And see how people are using their brand and their messaging on their website in order to have a consistent vision for their website. But what would your potential customers want to read about on your blog, on your website, on your various About Us pages, or your other pages? It's all about your customer. And so you have to think about, okay, I've got this page here. What is the messaging that I want to say on these pages, which will speak to them so that they understand that they are people that I want to be my customers. So you have to have your brand messaging consistent so that they can know, like, and trust you. And of course, you have to be the solution to their problem. So when you're designing your page, whatever page it might be, remember that it's all about the customer and what would your visitor want to see when they come to your website. So we can, besides, of course, all these ones that I mentioned, like the home, about us, start here, and the blog, your help, your contact us page. Of course, you can also have your product or service page. And even though it might be very dry information, you can certainly brand it with your logo and your elements and your colors, so that if they happen to just through search land just on that page, they understand that they are at the right location and that it's your business that they are at because of your branding. You can have opt-in pages for sales sheets, or for selling products, or for giving away products or services. You can have a thank you page, of course, once they've opted in on the opt-in pages. But all pages should have your brand messaging and brand elements. The elements being your logo and your colors and your various other things on a website. We'll have a look at some of those next week. They have to be consistent. They have to be easy to read or easy to see. There has to be a repetition of the theme on all pages so that it feels like it's a consistent whole. Don't change it, the theme from one to another page. And of course, it should be useful for your visitors so that they will stay and interact on your website, knowing that they are looking for something and that you have it, and they are going to either consume it or they're going to take it away with them. So those are some of the other pages that you should have on your website, besides the 4 that are important for branding. Of course, you can always go do the Build Your Own Brand Early Adopter offer over at jgtips.com/brand, or you can go to my jgtips.com/YouTube and see the Get Your Message Out Tuesday shows on the brand. I'm just trying to think. I think it would be about a month ago. If you want to start from the beginning, it would be 2 months ago, and looking at what we're discussing when it comes to your brand so that you can move forward with us. And you can contact me at jgardner@jane-gardner.com if you have any questions. So there you go. We've, I think next week, we'll have to put together a few of the websites that we can compare and have a look at. Their About Us page, their Start Here page. Let's have a look and see if we can find some fun, especially fun Contact Us pages, or even frequently asked question pages. I know mine's not fun, so I'll have to go find one. In fact, I don't know if I have one. So this is a good reminder for me as well that I should be putting in my frequently asked questions page into my website. You keep it simple. Obviously, you don't want to have too many pages so they can't find any of the pages. But I think that hopefully you'll have some consistency in your branding so that people know who you are when they land on one of your pages. So thank you for listening. This is Jane Gardner at Solopreneur Success Strategies, and we'll see you next week. Thank you for listening. This has been Jane Gardner at Solopreneur Success Strategies. Please go and subscribe at jgtips.com/programs, and also to find out about other programs as well over at jgtips.com/programs. And over there we have a free mindset magazine for you to check out at jgtips.com/mindset offer. So welcome. Thanks for listening, and I hope to see you again here tomorrow, as this is a 7-day-a-week show on mindset, your customer, getting your message out on social media and on your website, talking about strategies, talking about business systems, talking about all kinds of things, including the skills that you need as a solopreneur. So please come back and subscribe at jgtips.com/programs. Thank you.